What is going on, everybody? It is Jude coming to you another comic book reviews. So this week I read a few new ones that I read this week, and that's some continuing series as well. And I also have one for the Rippaverse. I'm gonna do that in a whole separate video. That's that Yura comic. But in this one, let's go ahead and get into this. This is Scarlett from Skybound, from the G.I. Joe universe and Skybound universe, and the Energon universe. And Skybound. Scarlett is new. It came out last week. And I went ahead and got it this week because last week was a little dry for me on getting a bunch of comics. So I said, let's just wait until we get a bunch of other comics and we'll get it at the same time. So I'll just go there and get one. But I knew it was new coming out that I was eventually going to want to read it. So I did read Scarlett. I actually do like Scarlett. I was actually surprised. I don't know much about Scarlett. I do keep up with G.I. Joe, and I don't, not keep up, but I used to watch G.I. Joe and know some of the characters, but Scarlett was one of the ones I was unfamiliar with. And Scarlett is a very interesting character. I actually do like Scarlett, and I will continue to read Scarlett, and I will continue to read most of Skybound. Although some are good or some are not. So far, to me, Cobra is pretty good, and Duke is pretty much okay. Transformers is up and down for me, and so is Void Rivals. They are up and down. And those are the ones I was more interested in and more excited about before the Skybound Energon universe came together. And I'm having some doubts of what's going on in the Transformers and Void Rivals. But I am going to do a review on the Transformers issue 9 that came out. But let's focus on Scarlett right now. Scarlett is actually pretty good. She's more like a spy. She's more like a secret agent. She's not just like some American soldier hero that just battles like Duke. She is more of an agent. That's why I find it more interesting. She's top secret. She does undercover missions. This one's more about what is her friend's name? I didn't write any notes. I'm sorry, but she has a someone that she used to work with that she is keeping an eye on. They have this secret coding that they have, and she's watching her on secret missions. But yeah, and Scarlett is actually someone that is very skilled and very wise and very good at completing missions or staying low key, and also very talented as well. And there was a scene where she beat up and fought a whole bunch of samurais or something like that. I was actually shocked at that one because you have to be extremely skilled to fight multiple skilled samurais. Scarlett is it's definitely, to me, has nothing to do with Duke, has nothing to do with Destro, has nothing to do with Cobra Commander. There's no connection for me whatsoever with this. It's kind of its standalone in itself. Now there probably will be a connection at some point, but right now, to me, this is actually a pretty good story. She's just a secret agent doing different missions and complete missions, and she's trying to make sure her friend that she used to work with is okay. She did run into a G.I. Joe character that was stalking her or keeping an eye on her, knowing that she was on a mission. And they end up connected, and he had to intercept her mission as well to have a conversation with her to focus on what needs to be done now rather than doing too much. I don't want to give it spoiler because I'm so used to doing spoilers, so I'm not going to sit here and tell you all the bit details, but I'm going to tell you that I do recommend you to read Scarlett if you have not read Scarlett. This is issue 1 through Skybound Image Comics, Energon Universe. I think it's in the John universe. I can't say for sure it's Skybound. I can't say for sure. I believe it is. I think there's a connection with all of the G.I. Joe character standalones, and there's another standalone coming out next month, or this month, that is. Destro. Destro has a standalone as well, so we have some villains as Cobra Commander. Like I said, I've been reading. You can watch some old videos. I did some reviews on those as well. All right, continuing on to our Skybound Energon universe. This is issue 9 of Transformers. Transformers, it's good, but it's not great. It's good enough. I would say that there's a whole lot going on in these Transformers stories so far. This is issue 9. Right now, I'm giving it about a 6 out of 10 because the overall series. This issue was okay. It's about Spike and the kid, and his dad had passed in the other ones, if I'm spoiling too much. Same with the girl he is with. Dang, I can't remember her name. My life depended on it. Same thing happened to her dad. They were killed by some Autobots, or no, actually, I think Spike actually, Dad actually sacrificed himself for the greater good or something like that. But however, both of them lost their parents. They're now working with the Autobots, sort of, kind of. Spike kind of got himself injured during this little battle with Starscream, and there's a lot of characters in this. You got Ironhide, not Ironhide. You got Ratchet. You got what was in the last issue? I haven't mentioned the name. But there's a ton of known characters throughout this series. Of course, Optimus is in every last one of them. What I'm noticing about it, it's just a whole lot of action. That's what's going on in the issue 9. There is a lot of action going on in the issue 9 that I'm having. I think that's probably why I'm giving it a 6. I do love the action, don't get me wrong, but I think there's so much action that I'm having trouble keeping up with the actual story. And I'm actually struggling. I don't want too much dry spots where there's a whole bunch of chit chatter, but you need to chit chatter enough of the dialogue. You need enough of it where you can kind of follow what the problem is, and there is that throughout it. But it's not. It's a lot of fighting, a lot of attacking, a lot of action, a lot of Decepticons attacking people, Decepticons intercepting the Autobots, damaging Optimus, getting beat up again, and all this stuff. And it's not that I don't want that. I do want that. I just want the story to be more intriguing. I think it's kind of it has a Michael Bay feel. And I like some of the Michael Bay films. Don't get me wrong. I know a lot of people say they didn't. I do like them, but it has that feeling as well. There's like a lot of, but that's what I like in movies. This is a comic book, and I do need those visuals, but I need balance. I need some balance, and I'm starting to see there's just a whole bunch of fighting. There's like a little bit of talking, to then all of a sudden there's an attacking in. So it's like it's just not giving me much of a story. And I think that's where the opposite comes in with Void Rivals. I think Void Rivals has too many dry spots and not enough intriguing action. So to me, there's got to be a balance in some of these type of books. Not all books, but these type of books. Because it's just what you know them for. You know Transformers. Well, as a kid, you grew up, you just want to see them fight each other. But as I got older, I need to have more of a storyline. I need to understand everything that's going on for me to sit here and say, oh man, I'm loving this story. I'm loving the actions, the scenes. And then, like the art that's going on in Scarlett, Transformers, Cobra Commander, Duke, the art is medium. And who does the visuals? You got George Corona and Mike Spicer. But the writer is Daniel Johnson, Warren Johnson. Who does Scarlett? Scarlett is Kelly Thompson. They have different artists, I guess, but very similar, but not like top tier art. And that's okay. That's okay. But so it is. With that being said, it's saying that I don't have a lot to brag about when it comes to that. Now, I'm just going to say that right now it's medium, but I will continue to read it because I'm such a Transformers fan and I'm into this energon universe. I'm intrigued by the energon universe, and I'm not going to give up on Transformers. I have Megatron sitting there on my wall. I have Optimus sitting on my wall. I have a Decepticon symbol on my wall. I have an Autobot symbol on my wall. So I'm a true Transformers fan. I've seen all the films that came out. I used to watch the cartoon growing up as a kid. I don't know. I was excited in October when issue 1 came out, and then after a few of the reads, I just started getting down. I just kind of started leaning a little bit. So you don't see the amount of excitement come from me from Transformers. But I am going to continue to read it because I got hope. And I'm still waiting for the clash of the energon universe of all these G.I. Joe versus Transformers and where does Void Rivals fall in and stuff like that. Although that Jetfire was in Void Rivals and then the last Void Rivals, it wasn't Jetfire, it was who was that character? There was a character. There was another Transformer I think it was an Autobot, I believe, not a Decepticon. There was another Transformer that showed up in Void Rivals in the last one. I don't have it off the top of my head, but I did mention it in the last Void Rivals review. So yeah, but yeah, it's still here. But all right, let's keep going with some of these comics. I read issue 5 of Dynamite's Thundercats. This is not much of a Thundercats book, and it's a little weird because the art has changed in issue 5 versus 1 through 4. The art is completely different. It looks like it's a whole new series. Like, and then this particular issue is basically getting you ready for the Chitara standalone, because the whole book is basically Chitara schooling Lino. That's all that's going on in this. There's nothing else to it. She's fighting him, she's training him, she's talking to him, and getting this mind mental as trying to be a mentor to him. And still to this day, as I started reading Thundercats again, I was actually shocked. And I did not know as a kid that Lino was supposed to be a cub that grew up extremely fast overnight or during the trip to Earth. And I also did not know they were aliens. I did not know they were from another planet. So there were things like that that surprised me. But this issue was like, I don't know what this was. It is basically just getting you ready for the Chitara standalone. That's probably why they did it. I was like, okay. After I read that, I was like, all right. Okay. That all she was training, she's talking to him, telling him about this, what you should do about this, how you did this, how you did that. That's all it was. The whole issue. There was nothing else going on. So yeah, so that's Chitara. I mean, if you like it, if you're a Thundercats fan, I would say read it. Maybe you are interested in what she had to tell him. I would say to me that was a waste of my time. I'm just gonna be honest. I know I'm very easy to please with a lot of comics I'm into. So far, Thundercats is medium to me as well. The overall Thundercats, I was intrigued after the first one when I started realizing that things I did not know about the Thundercats. But the more I read these, I was just like, it's okay. But I'm gonna try to keep reading them, just try to see what I can pick up from them. You know. Then again, if I don't, after a certain amount of issues, I'll probably just say, you know what, maybe it's not meant for me to keep reading Thundercats and spend my money on something else and find another series to start reading. I don't have to pick up everything that comes from my childhood. I am reading Ninja Turtles Last Ronin, the 2, the New Revolution, I think that's what it's called, or Revolution, or that's from my childhood, but not that version. The other version is the Saturday morning cartoon. I don't read that version because I don't want to, because that is for kids. This one is for adults. So sometimes you got to switch. So if they can take Thundercats and shift gears and put it more into a more of adult level, then I'm in. And I think that's what they did with Cobra Commander and Duke. That's why I'm actually, and Scarlett. Transformers is, yes, but I'm just not into the story. But I think that's what's going on there. And I think Destro's going to be the same way. I think they're going to bring it more to a level where us adults that grew up to that stuff can actually be into it, because we can, like, say, this is interesting to us. Kids might be, like, terrified of Cobra Commander and Destro, even not even understand Scarlett, because of how the language. I think the more they speak of the secret missions is more intriguing by adults. So yeah, there it is for this week. I do got some other books I got to read, so I'll probably have another review before the week is over. I definitely will for the Rippaverse, and then I got another Geiger. I'm gonna read that. I'll decide if I want to do a review of that. That last Ronin came out like over a month ago, but I just want to sit down and dissect it before the second issue comes out, and then I'll probably jump into a review for that. So I'll see y'all on the next one.